Hello, everyone. My name is Garrett Greco, and I'm going to be doing a presentation titled Valid and Reliable Instruments to Assess Physical Activity. And the topic I chose to do was smartphone instruments and apps. The article title is Effects of Technology Enhanced Physical Activity on Brain and Mental Health in Youth. And it's an umbrella review of meta analyses. It was conducted by the Shanghai University of Sport, as well as the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and it had an impact factor of roughly 3.6. So, just starting off with a little bit of background. So, around the world, mental health problems in children and teenagers are on the rise. We see high rates of anxiety, depression, and stress in young people more than ever before. At the same time, we know from years of research that physical activity helps improve brain and mental health outcomes. Exercise can boost mood, it can strengthen thinking skills, and even support better school performance. But here's the problem. Traditional exercise programs like gym class or sports teams, they don't often keep people or kids engaged for that long. Many drop out or lose motivation, and sort of that's where technology comes in. So tools like smartphone apps, wearables, games, and online platforms can make physical activity a little bit more engaging. They add fun, some rewards, and even ways to track progress, which can encourage the kids to stay active. The umbrella review that I looked at, it looked at the best available evidence from multiple meta-analyses to answer one question. Does technology supported physical activity really work for improving brain health and mental health in young people? So moving on to the purpose of the review was to evaluate whether technology supported physical activity helps in two main areas. And these two main areas are brain health outcomes and mental health outcomes. So the brain health outcomes, those are things like cognition, executive function, and academic performance, right? And so the mental health outcomes, those are more of things like depression, anxiety, self-esteem, and well-being. The authors wanted to pull together findings from many different meta-analyses to create one clear summary of evidence. And their goal was also pretty practical, to guide schools, clinicians, and families on whether combining technology and exercise is a good strategy for kids. Moving on to the methods. As I said before, this is an umbrella review. That means that the authors didn't collect new data from kids. Instead, they reviewed existing systematic reviews and other meta-analyses. Um, they searched major databases like PubMed, Embase, Web Science, and Cochrane to find studies that focused on technology-supported physical activity for children and adolescents. To be included, a review had to look at brain or mental health outcomes. In total, 12 meta analyses were included. The authors also checked the quality of these reviews through a tool called Amstar 2, which sort of helps rate how reliable a review is. Now, moving into the results. So it showed consistent benefits, right? So this graph shows all studies show negative SMDs, indicating the intervention reliability reduces the outcome. Most confidence intervals exclude the number zero, which this suggests statistically significant effects across studies. And the effect sizes are generally small to moderate, with Zhang et al. In 2024 showing the largest reduction. Moving on to this diagram, it's a little bit harder to see, so I do apologize, but basically the studies covered a wide range of interventions. Several interventions, such as like VR, internet, technology, enhanced physical activity. Those showed sufficient evidence in favor of improving executive or cognitive function. Almost all interventions reported some or sufficient evidence in favor for improving mental health outcomes. And also, this shows the quality of evidence, and it was rated 3 out of 4. Um, or sorry, it was rated out of 4, right? And the overall evidence quality was very moderate to high. So I think every single one on this list on the right hand side is either a 3 or a 4. So that shows that it's moderately high at least. Moving on to the conclusions. So here are the most important conclusions from the review. Um, First off, technology enhanced activity improves cognition, academic performance, mood, and self esteem. Secondly, tools like exergames, apps, and wearables boost motivation and adherence, which means that kids are definitely more likely to stick with them and stick with exercise. Um, Third, while the evidence is strong, there's still a need for some more higher quality long-term studies to confirm these benefits over time. And when we connect this to broader research, it matches what we already know about exercise being good for health. However, it also adds the new idea of technology as a tool and a delivery tool. In practical terms, this means that schools should integrate some sort of tech-based PE programs. Clinicians could recommend using digital activity tools, and families could use apps and wearables to support daily activity and daily exercise. So moving on to the strengths and weaknesses, right? So like any umbrella review, it has some strengths, has some weaknesses, right? The strengths piece, it was the first umbrella review to link technology and physical activity with brain and mental health in the youth. It pulled together strong evidence across multiple different meta-analyses, and it covered both cognitive outcomes and mental health outcomes. And lastly, it provided practical insights for schools, healthcare, and families. Now, for the weaknesses, the quality of the included reviews was a little bit mixed. Some were strong, but some did have some flaws. Most studies only looked at the short term effects as opposed to the long term ones, and this is pretty reasonable since technologies and wearables are relatively new, so there's not really that many long term studies yet. But there wasn't enough information to say what exactly and what types of technologies work best. And like many research areas, there's a risk of publication bias, meaning that positive results are more likely to get published. So, to keep it simple, here are the 4 main conclusions that everyone can remember. Number one being, sorry, improved outcomes. So, technology enhanced activity boosts cognition, academics, and mental health. The motivation effect, right? So, exergames, apps, and wearables make exercise more engaging and improve adherence. Number three, the evidence quality. So the benefits are definitely clear, but the studies vary in quality and many are short term, as I said earlier. And lastly, number four, the practical impact. So these tools are useful for schools, healthcare, and families to support healthier and more active lifestyles. Moving on to the future studies. So, what is next for research, right? So, uh, authors take, right? The authors say that technology supported activity is a practical, engaging tool for improving brain and mental health in kids, but more research is needed to close the quality gaps. Um, the future research should focus on high quality long term trials to confirm lasting benefits. It should compare, different technologies to see which ones work best for the different age groups, and they should test different combinations of technology with traditional PE or other sports programs. I think this approach has strong potential. Kids already spend a lot of time with technology, so using it to be encouraged in physical activity sort of makes sense. Everybody's on their phones, everybody's using iPads. It's constant in today's day. So, still, until we have more long term research, it should be seen as a promising strategy rather than a guaranteed solution, I would say. But I would say that it looks good. Um, and yeah, that basically wraps up my presentation for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.